Once in a while, I'll go ahead and print off a spreadsheet and I'll try to compare it to what I have up on my screen. And as I'm comparing, it'd be nice, instead of looking up from my screen down to my worksheet, or looking up to my screen and over to another screen, to have somebody read these numbers off to me so I can keep focus on that printed sheet of paper to see if there's any differences. Well, instead of hiring somebody to read these off to you, Excel actually in 2007 has what they call speak cells. Now, they had this in previous versions of Excel 2003, and it was Fred. Fred would go ahead and read these back to you. But in 2007 they have, I believe, Susie. She sounds a lot clearer, not as choppy as Fred. So in order to go ahead and select a range of cells, any range, and have Excel read it back to me, I need to add the Speak Cell buttons on the Quick Access toolbar. To do so, go ahead and right-click anywhere on the Quick Access toolbar. You can see I right-click anywhere. Go down to Customize it. Come over here and change your popular commands to all commands. And it's alphabetized here, so I'm going to click and drag and go all the way down. And what I'm looking for is the Speak Cells tool. So I'll click and drag all the way down to the letter S's here. And there we go. And I got quite a few options. I have Speak Cells, so if I just select a range, Susie will start speaking the cells, the numbers within the cells, and then I can stop her from speaking, and then I can have a choice either speaking the cells by columns. So if I selected more than 3 columns and 3 rows, it'll go by columns up and down instead of from left to right by row, and vice versa here by rows instead of by columns. And then another cool feature is that Susie's pretty fast when she's speaking these cells. Instead, if you want to manually control how fast she's speaking or reading the numbers back to you, you can double click and add over here Speak Cells on Enter, which says, hey, if you go ahead and hit Enter on the keyboard, as quick as you can hit Enter is how quick she'll be able to read those numbers back to you within the cells. So go ahead and click OK. It adds them up here on the Quick Access toolbar. And in fact, the feature here is already selected Speak Cells on Enter, but I'm going to click on that to turn it off so it's no longer highlighted. And by default, the selection is Speak Cells by rows. So if I have more than 2 columns selected here, instead of going from top to bottom, when I click on the play button, Susie's going to read it from left to right. If I want her to read it from top to bottom by columns, if I have more than 1 row selected, then I want to change that and come over here to Speak Cells by columns. Now, she's also pretty good at reading names here, but numbers is where her specialty's at, so I selected my range. Going to come up here and click on the play button, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but we'll give it a shot here, speaking the cells. In any case, what she's doing is that as she's reading off these cells, you can see the focus is moving. I'm not doing anything. She's actually moving the focus as she's reading it off. So 3000, she says, then she skips down to the next cell, reads that off, and skips to the next cell. When I'm done having her read this back to me, I can click off in a blank area, and that will automatically stop her. Or I can come up here on the Quick Access toolbar and click on Stop Speaking Cells. Either one will work. So again, that was from top to bottom. So if I go ahead and select the range again, and I said I want to go from left to right because if you have more than 2 columns selected and more than 2 rows, I can select this option, go ahead and click play, and you'll watch the focus will go from left to right. And then go to the next row from left to right. Click off in a blank area to stop it. And then if I go ahead and select, gosh, we can even try names here. I can go ahead and have her speak it on Enter. The moment I select this option, she's going to give me a little disclaimer. It says, now these cells will be spoken on Enter when you hit the Enter key. So it's ready. All I have to do is hit Enter. And it's funny, she'll say Bob, Denny, Homer. Pretty cool. So instead of having her reading it off at a steady pace, when I want to compare, when I'm ready, if I'm looking on another screen, I have 2 or 3 screens open, or I'm looking on a printout of this, I can look down on it and just hit Enter on the keyboard as I'm prepared or ready to move to the next section on my printed out page or screen by hitting Enter. Of course, when you're finished, you can click off in a blank area and click that to turn off Speak on Enter. And of course, if you want to get rid of these, just go ahead and when in doubt, right-click on the Quick Access toolbar, the button, and select Remove. Right-click, Remove. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, as soon as I upload a new video, you'll be notified instantly, and you can do that by coming over here and clicking on my face. You can also click here to support me, so for $2 a month, you can have access to over 2,700 training videos, all ad-free, and for a few bucks more, you can have access to my exercises, instructor notes, quizzes, certificate of completion, and a whole lot more.